moderation helps everyone feel safe. To build a positive live chat experience for you and your viewers, choose who can participate. Set a delay between messages. Hide or put people in timeout. Manage messages held for review. Add moderators to your channel. Close. Alright guys, hello. Oh, excellent. That's what I'm talking about. Concurrent viewers? 0. Okay. Hello everybody. Oh, I'm so excited. I haven't streamed in eons. Ah! Oh my gosh, guys, that's so scary. Do you see that right there? Wait, what? What is he? Oh. Okay. Whoa, what's that? Building off camera. Don't worry, guys. I did a little mining. Did a little mining off camera. So I didn't originally plan to stream, but you know, I felt called to do this, so we're doing this. And I already had this map made. I just hadn't, you know, I already did this layout. So for the, let's see, 0 people who are watching, why don't we take a little vote? Do y'all want to use this layout and just kind of fill it out, or do we want to make a new one for the stream? Let's see. Well, since nobody's voting, I guess I'll just decide, let's just use this one since it's already here. Save everybody a little bit of time, you know. Okay, so something I'm really happy about, doink, this. Backstage is going to be like, these are going to be curtains right here, all back here. I got the idea from a actual theater performance that I did, and the stage was sort of similar to that, and it had a black curtain that went all the way back here. And so I thought, why not have Freddy's actually have like an actual stage and not something like, you know, what we usually get. I think the Dead by Daylight FNAF collab does something similar, and I like that. The FNAF movie is also similar in that, but we don't really get to see what the back of the stage looks like, so I don't believe. So, okay. We just get started on this, man. I'm so excited. This is Management Wanted, of course. In the description, I linked Easter. What did I link? I linked the mod pack that I'm using. Okay. Also, guys, look, ADHD, never heard of him, so y'all just gonna have to keep up. I'm sorry. I will try to slow down, but I'm excited, so, you know. Whew. All right, everybody. To my 0 viewers, this is the office. I guess this is also gonna save, so. I was thinking about doing this as the office, right? But what I can't decide is, do we want to do like this and go for FNAF 2 vibe? Or do we want to have a big office and go for like an actual, like, you know, almost like airport kind of security vibe and just have it be a big old room, you know, where they have a lot of people? This is like the interview room, and probably also where they would, like, any kids that went, like, whose parents, you know, this is like the lost and found for the kids as well, I think. This is Willie Boy's office. Squilliam Afton over here. That's his office. Back here is Henry's office. This is going to be the safe room, I think. I'm not sold on that, though. I'm not sold on that, but I think that this is where I would put the safe room. This would be like generator, electrical stuff, maybe, I don't know, the AC unit would probably be out back. Party rooms, of course, with a long hallway. This hallway is open access to the public. Bathroom, you know, party room, backstage, like parts and service, whatnot. Kitchen, freezer, hallway. This is like storage, and right here is where like one of those, you know, big like 18-wheeler trucks can come in, which I believe. Oh, sorry. Don't worry about that. Let's see. Why is it just him? I believe somewhere around here. I'll find it, guys, eventually. Don't worry. What? What? Ooh. I love their stuff. This was the first one I used. I have used mods like this before, so I'm somewhat familiar with this. Oh. What? Okay, well there is a mod somewhere in here. We'll find it later. Noted. That's there. That has cars and stuff. So I was just gonna say we actually can have an 18-wheeler pull up. Whoa, pull up. Okay. Shock button. What? Shelf. This is a nice shelf. Can't really put nothing on there. So yeah, truck pulls up right here. We'll have a little thing for it too. And then this is sort of like storage and whatnot. Well, I think in this location, this is sort of like prime. Freddy's is still open. I don't think this would be like a closed down or abandoned Freddy's. If you were to make a story here, maybe, you know, you could set the main events of the story like a week after it closes or something to that effect, and then that's a cool idea actually. You have a story and it's a week after it closes, and Henry gets a security guard without telling William, and so he comes back in here to dispose of some evidence and gets caught, and then hilarity ensues because security guard has to fight William. But anyway, so Fredbear and Spring Bonnie back here. So this is a Freddy's, right? But I think that the way this would work is you've got the original Fredbear's location. It got pretty cool, pretty big, did well. Let me make sure that I'm streaming, actually. Probably should have checked that. Let's go in this account. Oh, I got so excited for a second. I saw a stream of Management 1 and I was like, bro, is it automatically recommending me my own video on an account that's not subscribed to my... But it's not. It's just the actual dev. You know, nobody cares about that guy. He's totally lame. Technoblade Spectacular 20 contains swearing. Huh. Technoblade was... That was sad. What happens to you during a spring lock failure? Okay, putting that in a watch later. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. Let's see. CT Zone, Gaming, Main, Main, Official, YT, VR, TTV. Whoa, what do you know? That's me! Okay, let's see. Is it working? Let's see, CT Zone. It's a little bit behind. That's like that, obviously. Main. It's only like 20 seconds behind. YT, VR, TTV. Oh my goodness, my keyboard is so loud. What do you know? That's me. That's wild. Okay, let's see. Is it working? Wait, can y'all hear it? Can y'all hear it? Oh, y'all can. Wait, hold on a second. That's like that, obviously. It's okay, I'm gonna stop. That's gonna get trippy really quickly. That's all I needed to know, was that it was working. Yay! Spam the little smile emojis in the chat. So what I'm debating is, does Prime Freddy still use Fredbear and Spring Bonnie? Because I think when it first opens, most certainly they have their own Springlock suits. Not the Spring Bonnie and Fredbear that are at Fredbear's. So I guess this would be your location where you get... So I guess the equivalent of like the Scrap Trap Spring Bonnie costume would come from the original Fredbears, right? And over here, this Fredbear and Spring Bonnie would look more akin to the Freddy Fazbear gang that's here. So this would be like your Withered Golden Freddy Fredbear, or whatever, the FNAF 1 Fredbear, or whatever. Although, you know, I'm fairly convinced that the Wither versus FNAF 1 designs are not actually a in-universe like canon difference. I think they're meant to be the same costumes. I don't think that the Withereds are obviously a different design, but I think in universe, at least in the games, they're not actually technically meant to look like in reality the Withered gang would actually just look like the FNAF 1 gang, but broken. They wouldn't be a whole different costume, but that's just my opinion. So they would have... So this would be the location where the Golden Freddy looks like Freddy. And the Spring Bonnie would be like, I don't know, the yellow rabbit you see in the FNAF movie. Something akin to that. So, we can pop. See, this isn't very big, though, for like a room where you... And you gotta bleed out in here. Like, not much space to bleed out. Kind of lame back here. Possibly... I don't really want to put a Pirate's Cove right here. Do we have a break room? Oh, no, we do. We have a massive break room. Yeah, we have a ginormous break room. What am I talking about? Thinking about making a basement. I don't know. Arcade, of course. Oh, yeah. I was thinking about putting Pirate's Cove in the arcade, but that would require me to have back rooms that go all through here. And I really like the way the building's flat like this. So tough. My life is so hard, guys. The decisions I have to make. What is that? What? Let's see what these models look like. Oh. Sorry, bro. Springtrap? Let's see what their Springtrap looks like. Oh, it's this one. I had a feeling it was this one. That's not bad. That looks like Candace Springtrap. What? Uh-oh. No, you get out of my pizzeria, Springtrap. Bad boy. Bad. No. Yeah. Oh. Who's a big guy now? No. That's not a fun noise. Springtrap? I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I don't remember digging the hole that deep. Oh. Okay. We will never talk about this again. Whoa, chat, that was weird. Just lag all of a sudden right there. I don't know what happened there, guys. Anyways, let's focus on something else. Let's get this done. I think... do I want to use this throughout the whole party rooms? It's nice. Is it nice enough for the whole hallway? Does it fit the whole hallway? That's the tough decision. Yeah, I think we can use this for the whole hallway. I really like the way the Baddington walls look in this. I'll show you all in a second. And I'm debating if I should use it for this. Also, this is like a fire escape exit back there. We have two. We have right there and right there. Freddy's probably needs more than one fire escape, honestly. But, there's just this giant chunk right here that could definitely be more. We could definitely put something back here. We could put something back here. You know what? 3 party rooms isn't enough. I want 4. They're all the same. They're meant to all be the same shape, I believe. I mean, that's how I did it, so I would hope that that's... Alright, in theory, and this is just a theory... Okay, I'm starting to calm down a little bit, guys. The hype of what? So this YouTube channel, you may notice, astute, just highly educated, extremely smart individuals might say, hey, what do you mean you used to stream? This channel has nothing on it, even though it was created 4 years ago. Oh my goodness, it was created 4 years ago. Ugh. But, yeah, so I just deleted everything that used to be on here for a lot of different reasons. You know, some major life changes happened since the last time I streamed. No, most notably, you know, I met Jesus, and so my entire life is just severely improved. At least, you know, inside. You know, my life is much better. I would very much recommend, you know, accepting Jesus to anybody here who might not have. He's awesome. But yeah, so I just deleted everything on the channel. It's actually still, it's just privated. I still have it, but I don't know if I'll put it back up ever. Yes, but where was I going with that? So nothing's on there. We're starting anew, fresh start, and we're, you know, doing this. This is the first ever stream, first ever content pretty much posted on the channel. You know, it's pretty cool. This village right here, y'all have no idea what's about to happen to you. All of your children, they're gonna die. That's the look. He knows. He knows what's about to happen. Actually, he's not really. What? Is he looking at the flowers? What is? Oh, oh, all right. No, now it's the hay bales. What's poppin', man? I'm building Freddy's over there. Here. What? What are you? Battery. Yeah. Free merchandise. What? Free merchandise. Come to Freddy's. Take it. Free merchandise. Way better than an emerald. Trust me. Okay. So now we got that big old extra party room. And we've got significantly more room to put stuff like, you know, Henry's little office and the spring lock. And in that case, this right here can be the spring lock room. We've got more room to put it right here. We can have a spring lock room be something like this, and it's easy to wall off. I modeled this kind of off of Chuck E. Cheese that used to be by my house, in that they had a random stage right here, and this is where the guy dressed as Chuck E. Cheese would come out and be like, yeah. So, and then that's sort of, the entrance didn't exactly look like that, but it's vaguely, very vaguely modeled off of Chuck E. Cheese. But in that case, you guys are gonna want to actually be. Oh, confetti tile. That's a great idea. Wonder who came up with that. Yeah, so this can be the party room in that case. You know what? I'm honestly just gonna place it by hand. I don't feel like. You know what? Maybe I'm not gonna just place it by hand. Actually, this is Fazbear means management wants it, correct? Let's see. Confetti tiles, Fazwrench, management wanted. Okay. Wanted confetti tile. Doink. Oh. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to do it by hand. Management wanted devs. If y'all ever see this, which I don't know why you would, but y'all ought to see if there's a way you can make like a compatible, what's it called, world edit mod, so that stuff like that doesn't happen, so that I can be lazy. You guys should just put in extra work so that I don't have to work as much. Yeah, I think you guys should just do that for the betterment of society and for the betterment of me. Just put in more work so that I don't have to work as hard. Capitalism, I think. It is currently, what, Sunday night? Pretty cool. That's what I'm talking about. It was getting a little dull here. I may put on a Minecraft music playlist. I don't know. We've learned our lesson, haven't we, chat? don't get lazy. Now I had to go back and replace everything because I got lazy. I'm liking the confetti tiles. Those look nice there. Ooh, taking a page out of Incredible Pizza. What if there's a curtain in between each party room? And maybe if this was like an actual game, a gameplay element could be that something to do with the party rooms, and since there's curtains, they can switch in between the different party rooms without, and you don't know, and you have to keep finding out which one they're in, something to that effect. You know, people who know how to code, y'all should just honestly pay me at this point. Am I being too sarcastic? I feel like I'm not actually a narcissist, guys. This is just a bit. I have to clarify. I'm actually a little bit nervous and a little bit excited. Maybe mildly insecure because, you know, I don't know, just streaming is a little bit intimidating. But I felt called to do it, so I'm not worried. This is cool. There's not even anybody in the chat. I'm just talking to myself right now. What is there to worry about, guys, right? And hey, look, if I say something horrifically, just, you know, life-altering, I can always just delete the stream later, since nobody's watching. This is the best. Why are my eyelids doing that? Stop doing that. They were just, like, twitching. They were, like, vibrating or something. It was really... Maybe I need more water. I'm really sorry if that sounded disgusting. That doesn't do anything. I'm also having to kind of relearn what different keybinds and stuff I set for OBS 3 years ago. Or no, I think last year I tried to mess with streaming in OBS, so maybe not. But still, I'm kind of having to relearn stuff. It's been like a year since I've basically seriously tried to produce any kind of content for YouTube, really. So that's kind of cool. It's like bittersweet, but without the bitter. I'm liking that. That was a nice. That's a good touch. I like that. Confetti tiles are good. I like the confetti tiles. Now right here. Oh, but I do like. This is gonna be on neon and stuff because it's the arcade room, and that'll look, I feel like, cooler. This is just the normal kind of, because it's the entrance, it's like carpet, it's all nice, you come right here. This would also be where you order your pizza, I guess, since that's a thing people do. It's the 80s, I suppose. So. This back here, you know, prize counter, that's what it's called, prize counter. And then you have two ways you can bring in different prizes and stuff. This goes into the break room. This goes, yeah. Ooh, well, actually, no. I actually feel like the gameplay element of your power runs out, or the generator. I think, in terms of power running out, the way that we're gonna do that is the generator. You don't have like a limited set of power for the night, but maybe the way we'll do it, and of course this isn't actually, but if it was a game, you know, the guy's like, yo, we just leave, you know, 2 gas cans next to the generator, you know, just make sure to fill it up before you shift, and hey, look, if the power goes out, just run back there and fill it up again, you know, just, you know, be careful for, be careful, you know, we don't want you, quitting anyways, so, yeah, so then you have to, like, kind of, and ooh, that could be a fun gameplay element too, since they have the curtains. You're not, you know, just because they're in this room doesn't mean they'll be in this room when you run out, and so you have to kind of run and just pray that, that they're not here, and then oh no, that would be bad. There's not a door right here. That's kind of funny. There's not a door that goes into there on this side, so you have to run out the long way and actually run out through the main open. That would suck. Oh, what am I talking about? It's right here. Just pray that no one's backstage either. Long spring lock room. Am I feeling that? The people who made this stuff, all of you guys that worked on it, y'all did amazing. I just want to say, I only have a few major problems with it, so... No, y'all actually did really good. Springlock room, I think. This is a pretty good safe room, actually. And safe rooms are off camera because Fazbear Entertainment, even though this is like a nicer Fazbear Entertainment, they're still not, you know, they're still doing shady stuff. So of course they don't have a camera in the safe room because they don't want to get sued. No camera in here. It's also soundproof in case anyone, you know, kind of ouch. The reason the door would be right here, and I think this would be the idea behind the Springlock suits, is the idea is that, you know, the performers are meant to run around and dance in them, but then whenever they get tired, you know, you just boom, put them in, they'll go in animatronic mode, you know? And the idea is you can just quickly close this curtain up in here. That wouldn't make much sense for the Springlock room to be way back here, then would it? Because I was going to say the idea is you just... Well, yeah, you could just close up the front curtain, you know, pull back the animatronics back here, pop on... Oh, that doesn't make much sense, does it? Maybe this is a separate stage right here for Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. It's kind of tiny for Fredbear and Spring Bonnie stage. It's not too tiny, actually. So what, this could be a separate stage for Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. Let's see the logistics of that. It's not too bad. Oh, and then after they get decommissioned because of either the bite of 83 or, and because William is most definitely a shady crook in my timeline, maybe, right, Mike puts Crying Child, probably Dave. I like that idea. Makes sense, especially because William's name is Dave in the books, his pseudonym, but, you know, Chomp of 83 happens, the big bite, and William trying to keep, you know, his name from, you know, getting ran through the mud because his kid just killed his other kid in one of, like, his creations, and so he maybe induces some kind of full-body Springlock failure of some poor man, and then he's like, look at this, these machines are terrible, I can't believe Henry would make them, and then they decommission them, and then this ends up becoming, like, Foxy's stage. So this would be Foxy's stage now, following the bite of, after the bite of 83 or whatever gets the Springlock suits, you know, decommissioned. They just kind of, this becomes Foxy's stage, right? And the Springlock suits just sit in the back. Maybe they open up. No, because you need this to be soundproof, so because it's originally a Springlock room. So this would be a curtain, but because you need it to be soundproof, that's a big thing that I think Fazbear would focus on, guys. This is my inventory is a mess. Well, that's why I had this. This was going to be the stage. I was debating between this one right here and this one. But I chose... why is it coming out like... I chose that one. I liked it better. Yes. Dang, it's already 10:28. Say what? Say what? Okay. This... Now, we've got a pretty sizable room right here that we could put, you know, like anything in. We've already got bathrooms. What else would we need? Chat. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, guys. I've not been full screen this whole time. Oh, that was probably so uncomfortable to watch. I'm actually so sorry. I forgot to do that. I usually play Minecraft in not full screen mode. That was my bad. Sorry. I'm sorry, guys. But we're fixed now. So what could go back here? So suppose the way this would work is right here. There's actually a wall. It's a soundproof wall. And I don't believe there's slabs. No, there's not. Oh, I'm not doing slabs with the bits. So there's just a wall right here. And then this is the safe room. But the idea is that they can just, you know, whoa, spring lock suits, and then, you know, the curtain closes, wheel them back here. That doesn't logistically make much sense, though. First of all, I guess this whole thing probably would be stage, actually. Because the idea would be that they can then run off, and that's the difference in the spring-lock suits, and why they're specifically so cool, is because the animatronics can be dancing up stage and then run off stage, and then in the next second go off stage and start. Well, I guess you know what, you wouldn't want them running around in this big room with everybody, anyways. So you would have them go back to the party rooms, would be what they're specifically used for, and then this curtain just stays closed most of the time, and then every so often. And that would be the use of the springlock suits. So they come back up here, and they can be in the party room, having fun, and then as soon as they realize you hear the call that's like, Spirit Run, Spring Bonnie, you're about to, you know, whatever, and then they can just walk back up in here, you know, come back in here, boom, boom, take off the suits, put the endoskeletons back on them. Also, in real life, animatronics are not heavy, like, in the slightest, by the way, if you look at the real physics. The heaviest part of the FNAF, the actual FNAF animatronics, would be the suits themselves. But we'll say that Freddy and the gang are, because they can walk around. But the springlock suits don't walk around on their own. No. Yes. Wait, is it recording at the same time? I'm going to have to check back after the stream is done what that means. I think it is. It's recording. That's weird. So boom, boom. You know, springlock suits, and then boom, you wheel them back on stage, and then they just perform. That works. You know what? I'm happy with that. I'm happy enough with that. Now time for walls. That is something I was scared about. I'm scared to do walls. They scare me. Oh, no, guys. Wait, we can't do walls. No, I'll decide later what's put back there. The scariest part is because I have so many options. Okay, I'm going to remember these vents. Of course. I like this stuff. I want it to feel open and running and like all fun and stuff. I don't want this to feel like a rundown Freddy's. I liked how in the FNAF movie they did a really good job of it feeling like that while still run down. Like it looked like it at one point. Ooh. Okay. The thing about these is this. That's good for an outside, which is probably why I had it there. I saw just a random brick and I was like, what's this? And I broke it, but it's probably because this would be good on the outside. Ceiling block, of course, I like those ceiling blocks. It's too dirty, but I like this maybe for the bathrooms. Just what they're for originally. The bathrooms don't have to look nice, but I might make them look nice. I don't know. I like these. And this could be Battington for some reason. FNAF 2. Like those two. This is nice. I might use this for something, but I'm not sure what. Pizzeria floor. What? What pizzeria uses this? Oh, okay. So it's like an actual. This is what you would. Huh. Interesting. Not inherently against it. It's not the worst, actually. We'll see about it. Not quite, although is this clashing? This may be clashing. Clash Royale? And I do want this actually to be really tall. I found that I actually tend to like the really tall buildings, especially because now we've got this, so it's got to be kind of taller. So we're actually looking at a wall like that tall, at least in the main room. Like that. That's not the worst, actually. Now, we could do like that. Then do like that. I don't know how I feel about that. I watched this streamer, Cup of Tea EXE, who was doing this. It's probably where I got the idea from, actually. If you pay enough attention, I'm probably stealing a lot of stuff he does, but I'm telling him, shh. And he does stuff like that. I don't really care for that, honestly. I don't like the double checkered. It's not my favorite, I'll be honest. Doesn't look bad on his stuff, but I just don't care for it myself. Now, do we want the checkered down here, or the checkered like that? You know what? The double checkered is not, I'm not feeling it either. We don't have to go too, you know, difficult with this either. We can just, that's not the worst. Let's just see what it, let's kind of put it around and see what it looks like. I was originally going to put Pirates Cove in the arcade, but I've decided not to now. Ow, my shoulders. Youch. Well, originally I wanted to stop streaming before 11. I mean, at about 11, sorry, so that I could, you know, my mom said she's gonna wake me up at 12 tomorrow, which is pretty nice actually of her, so that we don't miss the whole day because I'm at her house for like a week or something. I don't know. So so I don't miss the day hanging out with her. So I need to get my 12 hours of beauty sleep. So I wanted to be asleep by 12. But I can probably stream till 12, honestly, because 10 hours of sleep is still nice. You know what? I'm feeling this. I am totally feeling this. I really like this. Thank you, Jesus. Now this part's going to be fun. Oh boy, I can't wait. Let's see, is anyone watching my stream? Oh. I got so excited. I looked over and it said, and I saw the number 1 and I was like, there's somebody watching? And then I looked up and it said views and I realized it was when I watched it earlier. You know, it's weirdly fun just talking to yourself, even though I know nobody's listening. It's weirdly fun. Especially because I'm like a verbal processor, I'm fairly sure, pretty sure, you know, I mean, processing things verbally is just kind of nicer for me. And so it actually really helps just to talk out loud, all of this stuff. Ooh, I really like the pizzeria being tall too. And you know what, that doesn't feel like insanely tall either. Ooh, you know what, around the stage I may make it look different. I'm not sure. I may make it look fancy around the stage, but we'll see. I'm really thankful too that the internet's working, because my sister's watching, you know, Outer Banks in there. She's very cool, y'all. I may have her on something at some point, one of these things, one of these days. I could totally fit some windows in here, especially on this side. I may do that as well. Although I've always loved the feeling of Freddy's, feeling like you go in, and that may be what I go for here, is like you walk into Freddy's and it's like you're in your own, it's like its own little world. Like my idea for Fredbear's would be, it's like very country. I think Henry would probably be country. Louisiana, something like that. Arkansas, maybe. Henry would be more country. I don't know to what extent, but country enough that he makes like a little country, that Fredbear's was originally his thing. William gets brought on at some point. I'm not sure what point. Oh no! Well, this doesn't. That's fine actually. I was about to say they don't have a door that would fit in that space, but I realized there doesn't need to be a door here because it's meant to be kind of a, you know, come and please, come as you please. Don't. I am so sorry. I did not mean it. Anyways. Not gonna call attention to that. It's kind of late. I'm kind of tired. I haven't gotten enough sleep in the past 2 days. Yeah, couple. For some reason, when I say couple, I don't immediately assume it to mean two, even though that is what couple inherently means. It's like literally the point of it, a couple, like, you know, like two people. Although I don't know which is named after which. Of course, this right here is also going to be sort of fancy around it, but I think the walls are still going to be the same. You know what? I'm really digging this. I really love this. This looks really cool. I'm really feeling. Oh, you know what? It kind of looks like this. Kind of looks like the Gmod FNAF location, slightly. Not really, actually, but slightly. Oh, I just realized the stage probably has to, because I can just build this up one more. Yeah, you can stand on it. Which also means I think the parts and service is going to be... It does that sometimes. Going to be tall. I may go for something like the 2 stories thing. Like in... This is definitely big enough that we could have a second story somewhere if we wanted. Which I may do. You know what, actually? This extra space that's probably going to be up here, because I don't imagine this is going to be nearly as tall, could be ventilation. And that's where we can hide the vents. Instead of having to put them all on the side... and all weird and stuff like in FNAF, we can make it actually make sense and have the vents up in the ceiling. It makes total sense. This is nice. This is really cool. Well, see here, y'all can see where I built it to. These would just open up and stay. Oh no, they don't want to leave heat. I don't know. But this was going to have its own walls, but I may just continue on this. I don't know. So yeah, especially seeing as what walls we're going to put right here. I really would prefer to keep consistency with this. That's for later. Now for backstage, I'm not entirely against this. There's not entirely for it either. I don't know, that's a little much actually. But I'll definitely save that. Maybe in the kitchen. It's not too much for the kitchen. I want this place to feel really lively. You know what? Ooh, you know what? It's not the worst. I like it. I like it in here. I don't know. I think... ooh. For backstage. I mean, sorry, not backstage. Maybe backstage. I was gonna say for the back rooms. Whoa! No. But maybe just black. We'll see. But for the back rooms, we could do like this. still want it to be pretty tall in here, especially too because I want to be able to fit any kind of animatronic that I feel like it in here. I haven't decided what cast of characters to use. As cool as it is, I think that needs something else. I think that they would have enough money from Fredbear's that they'd be willing to spend on like something like this. When I say like this, I mean like colored, like putting a significant amount of effort into the back room walls. I mean, that's always an option as well. Not the worst option either. I think if I were to do that, I would just... I just feel like this with like 4 of these does not look the best. Well, and it may be too much beige. I may want to go something a little bit more... You know, I haven't even looked into the... I didn't even mean to go there. I haven't even looked into the management wanted stuff I was going to say. This reminds me of the first FNAF universe, whatever. Management wanted blocks. Oh boy, that may have just crashed my... Oh, I thought it crashed my computer. It was just loading. Oh. We can play around with doors. I'm definitely going to use that door lever first of all. I just want to point that out. Probably. You know what? I don't know. Also, I do want to have some of those booths. But so you would have like that weird looking Fredbear in the spring. That Freddy clock definitely. Why do I have to pee again? I just peed before I started doing this. It's only been like 40 minutes. No, I refuse. Okay, that's not the worst. Oh, utility, which I assume is actually probably explicitly meant for these backstage rooms. Oh, those are. That's really useful. I'm very glad. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but... We could keep up the trend, too, of the too high and then the cutoff. Though I really like the gross looking stuff up on the ceiling. That is a pretty big selling point for me on that one. That may make me... I think we ought to flip it. Oh, but we can't. Why can't we? That's not the best. Ew. Diarrhea of wet. Purple. That's fun. Tiled orange. Oh, this is so tough. There's so many decisions. I like the black. I mean, you've obviously got the... And we could just simply go for FNAF 2 back here. I just feel like the gray is a little overused, and in a real pizzeria they would not do gray, although they may not do bricks for the backstage. Were you red? Background tile. The worst. I do like that. Ooh, that's really good. That's pretty good. I kind of like that for over here. Can we do that for over here? Does it match? Would this be a tall room, or do you think this would be, to my no viewers, be the same size as the rest of it? Yeah, it fits for the rest of it. Does it fit with this? I don't know that it does, and I really like these. Oh, that's fun. Your laptop. Mesh window, good. Okay. This is so tough. Oh, good, they got curtains. They've always got the classic white and black tiles too, just for backstage. I just wanted something a little bit more flavorful. All tiles, error tiles. Orange and teal. God, that's gross. It looks like Guardian. This is the hardest part right here, is picking blocks I'm going to use. I don't feel like this works with this tile, but this may work for back here. It feels bland. Nothing wrong with like the people who did it, but like see how the bricks like have all this extra like depth and stuff to them, especially these ones. This just feels like kind of flat, so I don't know how I feel about it. I like bricks. I do quite like bricks. This is not bad. Oh, this could be kitchen. Possible kitchen, I just realized. I also like these. Maybe this is, this could be security room stuff. Oh yeah. Now what about back here? Back here. We'll see about back here. Could just go red. I think for backstage, I'm gonna get something from. I have no idea what FB and D stands for. Fazbear and Decor or something like that. Fazbear Build and Decor. It's Build and Decor. It's what it is. I mean, we've obviously got those. We got wood too, although I don't know if I don't care for the wood. For the floors at least. I mean, yeah, we've got that. It's not the worst idea, especially if we want to go for Baddington. I do really like those, but I'm so sorry guys for making y'all sit here through me picking. Oh, okay, black or gray. I like black. Well, I meant to say gray. I like gray. These are meant for the ceiling. It doesn't fit, but this does. You gotta go, I'm sorry. Unless we find something nicer to put. No, I'm not feeling it. Sorry. What? Oh. Forget about you. I like this, but it just needs something more. Okay, good. I need those. You know, it's a little unoriginal, but we could always just go for the Baddington stuff. Why are they all over the place? Yellow and purple. I've already done it once in a pizzeria, so I'd kind of not prefer to do it again. But it's very fitting. Well, I don't. You know what? I don't want to spend all stream sitting here arguing about what kind of tiles to use for the wall. So we're gonna move on to something else. Unfortunately, I gotta make the walls before I can do anything else, which is super lame. Because it all really, a lot of it looks so good. So it's hard for me to decide. You know what? Especially too, because this is like places that like most employees have to go, so they probably would spend a fairly nice budget on making it look good. Like this isn't just like people go to this. You know what? I hadn't even considered that. This can totally just be a middle block, which means I have room to do something nice and creative. That's not the worst. That probably needs to be bricks. Could do the light blue. I hadn't considered the light blue. No, the light blue. It needs to be something just a little bit dingier. Just the bricks. It's not the same kind of bricks though. Bricks don't look the same. And yes, it does bother me that the bricks don't look the same. And I will never be content with it. Oh boy, I gotta pee again. Why? Almost like drinking water has this direct effect. Huh. You know, that may be just what I'm looking for. We'll try this option too. Which one? Ooh, that's a tough one. Okay, on one hand you've got this. Yes, on the other hand you've got, oh wow, literally. On one hand you've got this, on the other hand you've got this. Nah, not this. I guess this can be fine. Well, you know what? This isn't really fine for the floor. This... We'll just see how it looks. You know what? Honestly, let's just go for it. I'm getting sick of sitting here picking tiles. And also, because these are both just like hallways, does this really need to have a doorway in between it? Like, especially because it's like. Just pointing out that just do like this. And this also, by the way, is intentional that the kitchen can come back through here to deliver pizzas to the party rooms. You know, like 2 years ago, I believe Baddington announced that he was making his own, like, sort of course, mod 3D animated because that's what he does, but like FNAF movie, which is awesome. I haven't seen anything on it in a while. I'd like to double check into that, but that I'm excited for that. That'll be cool when it comes out. If, unfortunately, now, since we've had FNAF Plus, you know, not actually technically come out. Most people, I imagine, don't actually realize that because, you know, FNAF Plus did come out and all the YouTubers played it, and so, you know, it's easy to just be like, yeah, FNAF Plus, but no, that wasn't actually, I don't believe it was, at least, because Fiznom was like, you know, had to stop doing it for, you know, his own, you know, mental health, I believe, and there's a lot of personal, I'm not into drama, I don't like drama, gossip, or anything, so that's not, you know what, I can live with this. This looks nice. It's a good middle ground between, like, dingy and, between dingy and, like, unkept, and it's like a good middle ground between, like, FNAF 1 and FNAF 2, basically. Like, that main room in there in FNAF 1. We sure do got a lot of purple in here. Not intentional, although maybe there's a cool... I think if I were to do a cool scene, like with William, at least a reference to the purple guy, have, like, you know, the show stage lights going off, and then, like, have the purple light keep, like, shining on him. You know what? In the FNAF movie, when they... Well, a purple light isn't very bright, actually. Never mind. I was going to say, whenever they shine the light on him, you know, and he's like, oh, what's going on? It should have been a purple light. And, you know, like, whoa, cool reference. And, you know, it wouldn't have been too weird. But, yeah, I forgot that. I think the point was that it was supposed to blind him for a second so that he gets kind of disorientated. And then, so. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't like that very much at all, actually. You know, could we just shorten the price counter? Just to slide them out. No, we couldn't. And I don't. And that would get in the way with this. I like the way this looks right here. It would get in the way if. Would it? If I put it over. Let's see. Because, first of all, that looks significant. You know what? It would look best right there, actually. Let's see, that looks significantly better on this end. Not that much better, though. It's not worth making the pizzeria look ugly. Like, it doesn't... Oops, that was... not going to happen. Versus that. You know what? I can live with that. I can live with that. Especially because you've got this doorway right here and so. Okay. We've got a bunch of different rooms back here. Probably have this open up a little bit more just because. Unless there's a 3 wide door, we'll figure out that problem later. Now the office, also the color coding thing is not for what the walls are not exactly. Like, that wall's not going to be the same as that wall. It's just generally so I get an idea of what the rooms are for. The color is based on what the purpose of the room is, and so that I have an outline for the wall. And I don't care for you right there. Although, you know what? This would make a great... chill break room wall. That's a pretty good break room wall. And the love of the break room is just right up at the front here. It's really not the best place for the break room, but you know, especially the poor people who work in the backstage, they gotta come all the way over here to go to the break room. But they can still stay backstage while they don't have to walk in front of everybody. Actually, I don't know how I'm feeling about this. I like the bag stuff in theory, but... Ooh, that's where I can include the Baddington. This could be Baddington backstage. The Baddington stuff. That for the break room is really not the worst. The Baddington could be the entrance. We got a lot of purple going on here, y'all. A lot of purple. We might need to break it up soon. It's the purple location. Maybe William's favorite color is purple. I don't know. I suppose the entrance would be one of those places you probably want it to be tall. Or, I don't know, would it just be because the arcade's going to be tall too, right? The prize counter kind of has to be tall to match with everything else, so I suppose it would stand to reason that you want this to be tall. Although, you know what, actually, now that I say it, there is a thing right here. Although I did not make it... Ooh. I did not make it... That wouldn't be too hard to fix, though. No, I do really like this room. So what we're gonna do is very simple. It's called ever so slightly shortening it. This right here, I made space for a puppet box, by the way. That's what that is. Security puppet specifically. This would be a location that has a security puppet. Now, I gotta think of a practical purpose for the security doors that drain power. I really liked how that, I think it was the rewritten FNAF, how their idea for the security door was it used air pressure, and that is why you can't just keep it closed, and less about power. Because in real life, it doesn't make any sense to have a door that takes power when it's closed. Just like Freddy Fazbear is so weird about having their fail-safes be the opposite of what they should be. Like the fail-safe for the Springlock suits is animatronic mode for some reason. That's fun. That ended well, you know. This is also a really good outside wall. I like this. You know what? Paddington just sticks out so much. This would be really good for the outside, you know. But for now, we're gonna keep it in here too. You know what? You know what? I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this. I can live with this. Oh, what? Maybe not. You know what? Maybe I'll take those as a sign. I think the arcade should probably just be that. Or maybe this. Ooh. You know what? No more purple. Actually, no more purple. I'm thinking red. The arcade's going to be red, actually. The arcade is going to be red. We're not having any more purple. There's way too many decisions here for me. Oh boy. The arcade is going to be green. Ew. We're gonna do it like that to match. And then bricks, it's gonna be red and blue. Spider-Man. Red and no, red and purple. We're gonna see red and white, maybe red and black. I don't know about red actually. Oh, noted. Where's the rest of the FNAF 6 stuff? Oh, there it is. What in the world? Why does FNAF 6 look like that? Scooper. I'm gonna definitely keep that in mind. I hadn't seen any of this stuff. Cladding. What? Floor grate. What? Oh man. Oh goody. Dang it, I need to pee. Ugh. No more purple. Purple guy. AJ. Just AJ. Not you. But I do like you. I can put up with you. Cyan movie trim. Yes. Oh, that's good. No. And since it's the big room, look something more akin to that. And especially because it kind of looks like Foxy, which is good theming. Can I put up with this? Is that worth it to me? You know what? I really quite like the bright red. I want to use that somewhere. I don't know about in here. Maybe not the right color for the arcade. Do y'all think the right color for the arcade is red? That's not a bad color for the arcade. That sign, of course, does not match with it because, yes. But this brown is just going to look like Foxy. I mean, if I wanted it to... What? Does it match it at least? What? No. No. I need you to be up. You're meant to be up. That's bad. Not good. Not good. Bedroom carpet. Sorry, that happens sometimes. What? I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can live with that. Especially because it's right next to the main room, and it's just like a ew, no. I like the red, but not in here. I'm not feeling the red here. Maybe in the party rooms though. Party rooms, the red is too bright to be used. Bathrooms, possibly. That's a possible red. Party rooms? Oh yeah, definitely. Party rooms can most certainly. Probably gonna do the curtain thing. I like the curtain thing. That's a good point too, because it won't get too much red to be sickening because you'll have the curtains in between every room. No, this copyrighted music. I don't know if my mic picks it up. I don't think it does. Okay, phew. So think my sister's watching. I was worried that... Oh, it does. You can hear it. I think y'all can hear it. I have to talk over it because it's copyrighted. Ooh, you know what? Okay, you get out of here. What goes well with red? Oh, purple. Purple does go well with red. It's not bright enough. I need something very just pink. I'm not feeling pink. I really don't want it to just be red. I really don't like that. I mean, you got the Spider-Man though. Nothing really goes with the red. Not if the red is on top at least. Not unless I just did like this for the hallways, which I'm not really feeling. I like the bag stuff better than that. It's just too plain for me. But because, see, notice that. Because it's got that little part right there that does not touch. I don't know how to explain what I'm talking about, but I can just show you. No, that would. I need to find something better. Ooh. Okay, people. Shirt. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community community guidelines. Dang it, I messed that up. It's not exactly the same size either, is it? It is. Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. Right? Hear me out. I'm really glad that they did it like that. Something like that. In fact, we can even go down one. Now see that? That's not bad at all, actually. That is most certainly not bad. Although I'm going to have to change up the priorities, but you know what? That's fine. Well, guys, we've spent this entire stream choosing walls. Don't y'all feel fulfilled? I do. But for unrelated reasons. This is so nice. There's nobody in the chat to tell me to shut up when I'm talking about Jesus. This is amazing. Can't stop me. Although the commenters will destroy my self-worth. But let's go. Booyah. This is a cool hallway. I'm really digging this. Ooh. Me and my sister were watching Medea. We watched the Halloween one, Boo. And then we watched Medea Goes to Jail afterwards. Loved them. They were amazing. Totally. I think I'll probably recommend that. It's got some jokes in there that are, you know, not the best. It's got a lot of, but, you know, actually I don't know. It depends who you are, if I would recommend it to you. It's funny. It is funny. I respect Tyler Perry, the way that he, I really respected too with the Medea Goes to Jail, that he specifically used his platform that he had gotten through Medea, and of course using humor to talk about real situations is a very, I like that a lot. I respect that, and I think that that's a good idea. But he used it to address like actual real problems with people, like, you know, when it comes to prostitution and whatnot. And they didn't delve too much into the hood. I didn't feel like, you know, the quote unquote the hood, but the idea was there. But the main issue in the story actually was not about that. Although they did mention that that's where, you know, two of the main characters came from. But oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Beautiful. This is amazing. Thank you, Jesus. Oh my goodness. And it's kind of scary looking too. Look at that. It's a little bit intimidating just seeing all the way to that long hallway. That would be pretty scary to, you know. And it gives plenty of room for the animatronics just to waltz in wherever they feel like. That was a big sticking point with this is you know, number one, I want it to feel very kind of open almost. But also... I guess there wouldn't be a... I guess that wouldn't... That would be wall. That would be a wall right there. Would this be, or would it be painted something? Would this still be, this probably should just still be stage actually. Just have the black curtain right here. I don't know why it wouldn't be stage actually, come to think of it. Wow, this is so quiet and sad. You know what? I can afford to put on some music. Oh, no. Wrong account. We're gonna go there. We're just gonna put on some Minecraft music just because it makes sense. Megamind 2. What am I looking at? That's so cool. Okay. What was I gonna do? Minecraft music playlist. 101 videos? What? Yeah, we're not gonna do the new music. This, in theory, oh wow, they're all watched. In theory, guys, just a game theory, but in theory, oh, that's way too loud. In theory, though, this should be copyright free. Is this what we want to use? And we'll just go in here. Doink. You don't get to talk. Then I go right back to you. Now I'm going to go pee real quick. I'll be back. I'm back. 9170 kbps. I think that's pretty good. Alright. And I'm not going to forget to do that this time. Look at that. I'm growing as a person. Amazing. I've got the intelligence of most animals. I learn from my mistakes. Aren't y'all proud of me? You know what? If we're doing the same thing, this doesn't have to... See, because the idea was that you could, the stage, you could step up here I need to get something that looks like that wood, but it's a stair. Deluxe stage block. Moderate stage. Oh, this is from Pizzeria Sim. Oh, that's kind of scary. They don't have pupils. At least not in this level. I need something that vaguely resembles.
This is your brain when you're struggling to focus, and this is your brain when you're in the zone. But getting
okay, you know what? No music. Y'all don't get music. Let's see, no, because the copyright-free lo-fi used to get me. I would get copyrighted, even though it's copyright free. So you know what? No music, y'all. Y'all just get to hear my beautiful, amazing voice. I know you're so happy. Everyone is just frothing with excitement. Speaking about frothing with excitement, I have rabies. No, oh, I'm gonna have to do that. Okay, fine then. Deluxe stage bit. Deluxe stage. Oh, I might want to try that. Maybe. Right. At least for this one, yeah. No, definitely still this, but for that one, yeah, they have the poor stage. And I think the ceiling should actually be one lower here. But I may change that. Anyway, speaking of exciting, I had the idea, right? What if... See, so for those of you who don't know, which is everybody, because this is my first time streaming or ever talking about this, I love making FNAF cosplays, right? So I've been making them for a while, and for the first time I've made one that's actually like, you know, we used foam. I've done it all, you know, project foam. I've done it the way, you know, I'm supposed to, and I'm making a full body costume. I've never done that before either. It's the, I guess you would call it the Yellow Rabbit. It's my own, kind of, oh, okay, now can I make it do a stair? I literally just need it to be a stair. I don't want to get too fancy. I want this to still feel like Minecraft, so I'm just gonna... So, you know what? That works for me. It looks like it's a half slab, right? That works for me. But essentially, I had the idea to do a live-action FNAF series of some sort. Using maybe that costume. It's my own design, Springtrap, but it's the Yellow Rabbit. It's meant to be the wearable suit. It's not meant to be Springtrap. You know, I wonder, do y'all think he's going to show up in the FNAF movie and go, I'm Springtrap? I wonder how many people will walk out of the theater if he does. I'm Springtrap. Although I'm making fun of him, but I actually completely understand Scott's reasons, especially now that we've got another characterization of William in Dead by Daylight, and you can once again see that he is, you know, Scott is consistently showing the kind of character that he's giving William. I did do the... Oh no, the floor was that in here. Does that work actually? I don't know why. That's weird. That gives that a weird look. It occurred to me I hadn't even stopped to think about if this floor works with that. It kind of doesn't. Ooh, I don't like that because I really like that floor. What about that? I bet that would work with it. No, it's too extravagant, too fancy. I'm sorry, guys. I'm doing it again. We gotta pick a floor. really like the way this looks. Huh. Oh, that's where I got that from. Diamond? What in the world? Diamond? Okay, well, that's fine. Holiday tiles. The green. The blue. You know what? I don't know about the... And the reason I did the backstage with these blocks, the yellow and blue, is because it looks like the Walton Files when you do it like that, and I like the way the Walton Files back room looked. Very iconic. You know, speaking of the Walton Files, like a year ago, they're like, over a year ago at this point, a year and a half ago, they were like, they released episode 4 and it was amazing and awesome, and Martin Walls was like, alright guys, by the end of February, we're going to release it all and it's going to be the finale. And he's like, actually, wait guys, I'm going to work on it for a little bit longer. Fast forward a year and a half and it's still not out, and I am really excited to see what comes. You know what? I'm not going to be annoying about it. I'm excited. I can live with that. I'm excited to see what comes because he's clearly, you know, taking his time with it. And I completely understand, especially after the last one he did was so amazing, and it probably had really good reception because it was so amazing, and it was obvious that it was so amazing. You know the... Oh, I already used that. I wonder if backstage could be this. I mean, not backstage, you know what I mean. This bad boy, this area. If that works for back here. It doesn't. This gives it a fun look. It's very colorful. It's a very interesting look, but I like it. This is just nice. I like this. I like this too much. I can't do that. Sorry. I gotta stop saying that. Sorry. I'm trying too hard to be funny, and I want to be significantly less funny because I'm trying too hard. Now, how would normal checker just look back here? Ew. Okay, maybe not use those ones, but is that what I used for? Is that what I used up front? No, I used a different one. But I think I did debate between. Ew. No. Not. Listen, devs. Nothing wrong with your thing. Just it's way too neon for my location. I'm sure it's exactly right for a different location, but way too neon for mine. You gotta be open up one more. It's already 11:30. How does this? Okay, so maybe checkered, but not those ones. These ones are very striking. Too striking. I like the yellow almost color of those ones. I want that with just like, I want like that color, but with that block. Devs, pay attention to me. Yeah, but like that would be cool. Like these colors, but with that block, that pattern, like the 2x2 thing, but with the 4x4 pattern or color. I mean, You know, because I like the colors so much, we're just gonna keep it. The backstage is gonna stay like this. Oh my goodness, wow. This is a very fun looking location. Should the bathroom honestly just keep this pattern? I mean, there's not really much reason to change it, actually. Besides maybe theming, you know, blue and pink. Or whatever. You know. Does that work? Y'all should add mirrors, by the way, if there may be mirrors in this mod pack. I'm gonna check, but y'all should also add mirrors. They don't necessarily have to be working, but they should just look cool. Maybe not even like, maybe, I mean, if you want to make them working, that would be awesome, but maybe just make them like blurry and they just vaguely reflect the colors of whatever's in front of it, sort of thing. Like, they don't have to be fully working, just so it doesn't like take up too much RAM or whatever, or graphics. It just, I don't know how I feel about the red. Although I could make the bathrooms bigger if I did the red. That's a pretty big plus because, you know, or I could make that bathroom bigger, I guess, because I don't have to do two on that side. So we have one bathroom that's just, well, no, it would increase it because I can move this whole thing back. What do y'all think? Are we filling the, so real mirrors are not nearly that big. So is the restrooms, I don't know that I'm feeling that in the restrooms. ADHD, never heard of them. I just realized I'm going all over the place. I can't stick with any one thing. I'm having too much fun doing this to go do the dining room. I guess I can't stay up. I can't stay on here any later than 12. I gotta, because that way I can be asleep by 1. Add in an hour for whatever I do, or whatever, but I end up doing. But okay, there we go. Got you. And I love this too because that's what I was going on, but I got distracted earlier. There's like 18 different ways that the animatronics can get to your office. There's 3 doors, of course, but they can get into those 3 doors any kind of way. And I think with these animatronics, so I think what would happen is following the missing children's incident, the MCI, right, in this location, timeline-wise. And something I really liked about the new FNAF theory that Tom put out on Game Theory was his idea about William Afton, and he's been killing way earlier than anybody thought, and furthermore that the MCI was just like Afton having to take things into his own hands, which I feel like totally fits with Afton's character and makes a lot of sense. I think that's probably canon, number one, and especially because that explains why he's doing the sister location. I think it's very easy, and honestly, story-wise, I mean, I can totally understand why everybody would want to believe that the MCI was like the first set, because it just, with, you know, just logically they can't be, because the fun times are made like before them, so it makes sense that, you know, following Circus Baby, that incident, and in Pizza World, or whatever it's called, Circus Baby's Pizza World, I believe, getting shut down, that William is just like, you know what, I'm taking things to my own hands, I can't trust these stupid robots anymore. And then the missing children's incident happens. Alright, backstage. What are we gonna do here? Oh, you know what? I like the pink and the blue for the bathroom. I like that idea. That's a pretty good idea. I'm so excited. I never thought that I would actually be out here streaming. I mean, I did, but I didn't know that, you know. It's just cool that it's actually come to fruition now. Dark blue or light blue? Well, judging off the fact that I didn't see any dark blue, I guess we're going with light blue. Oh, there's blue. Blue. Usually you see more. You just see a brighter blue, not. We'll see. We can just try out the two and see which one we're liking better. I say we, referring to just myself, because there's nobody watching the stream. So sad. Anyways. I guess this is the girls one then. Didn't mean to automatically, you know, do that, but alright, I guess this one's the girls one then. No, that's the wrong color. Girls one. Here at Freddy, actually, no, I'm not gonna do a good job. The weirdest little combo to do that, by the way, that I'm doing. You have to like time it exactly correctly so that you push down with both fingers on the left and right mouse thing, but you have to like time it correctly so that you get the left one slightly, ever so slightly earlier than the right one, so that you can break it and then immediately place it down. Oh, I hadn't even thought about that. Oh no, that looks weird. Why? Oh, why did you do that? I bet that'll match up though. Oh, that is. Oh, they just. What? Stop doing that. Well, I stand corrected. I guess they don't match up. It's probably something that ought to be. They probably ought to match up, devs, but I'm also not really complaining. I'm just saying stuff. I think y'all did an amazing job on this, of course. You know, because y'all definitely watching this and you can definitely hear me and you definitely care about my opinion. You know, as just the greatest person in the world. Just want to say, you know, y'all did all right. I'm joking. I'm joking. Oh, I can't even sit there and act like I'm not. I can't even. It's very far from true. I don't believe in good people. It's not really a thing. I mean, the Bible says nobody's good except Christ. So, I mean, there you go. But, you know, because, you know, as people, we try to divide ourselves up into factions, and we're all like, he's good, I'm bad. He's this color, I'm that color. And so, we're enemies, and that's a made-up thing that we made up. That's not the way we were designed. I don't believe. Oh, then I'd have to use purple. Oh no. I can't stand to use purple again. I use so much purple. Probably going to end up having to use purple again, but purple everywhere. Specifically on the bottom blocks too. Just because purple works so well as like an accent. Now that looks pretty nice. That looks pretty nice, admittedly. Yup, using purple again. Oh, there's a hot pink. We don't even have to use purple. Wait, seriously? I was using this weird dried out pink and there was a hot pink the whole time? Seriously? Well, yeah, I want to use the neon pink. What? Why wouldn't I want to use the neon pink? How did I miss that? Gosh, chat. Are you even trying? Like, why did you guys not tell me about that? There's that neon hot pink. You guys just sat there and let me build the whole thing in the gross pink. I can't believe you. Anyways, back to lore though. Following the MCI in this location, I think the way William would do it is the first couple. I think with the MCI, there's 2 waves of it. Maybe. I'm just spitballing here. I'm kind of verbally processing, like I said, doing lore. I don't know how I would do the MCI in this location, honestly. That bothers me. I'm sorry. So you got this in the boys' restroom, and that's not the best. But it's the closest we got. I really don't want to use purple. Especially because purple's like a whole different color anyways. At least light blue and dark blue is like... Well, let's see. So you've got that. Yeah, we probably ought to use purple. Got that, and then you got that. And it's a little on the nose. Yeah. It's pretty on the nose, actually. We're just going to leave that for now. Blue facade bricks. Noted. You get out of the way. This could be blue. What kind of theming does it... What does an arcade even look like? You know what? Maybe this is the room where we have the gray walls. I know. Bum, bum, bum. I said I wasn't going to do it, but if you were going to do it in any room, it would be this room. I mean, obviously we're going to go for... This is the room where we use the gray walls. No, these aren't the same. Ugh. 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 The atrocity. Actually, let's see what Management Wanted offers in the way of gray walls. Okay. It's not nearly as textured. That's the problem with Management Wanted. But... I can deal with that. I can live with that. I like the bricks. Bricks are nice, but I don't think we're going to use the bricks for that. What in the world is cladding? Noted that these are here. Rotten wall. That's fun. I love these little blocks the way this is. It's very cool. But for right here, I don't think it'll fit. Alright, let's see what this looks like. Phooey. It's almost... I forgot that was what the problem was. Is that this one doesn't stack. So we're gonna have to figure out something different. Guess we got... Oh, well, what do you know? That works then, I guess. No. No. But. Ooh, but. There's always a but. There's a but. Where's the black thing at? No, there's not a red one. What? Oh, I see it there. Oh, and that's backwards anyways. That's not what I need it to be anyways. Which would mean I need this. I need that, basically. Which is totally doable. I can totally do that. I don't know what I'm complaining about. This is totally doable. Yeah, you know what? I can do that. I can live with that. And it's not. I was gonna say that could be in there too, but it's not festive enough. We need something. Maybe we could do the red walls in there. I don't know. That works. You know what? That works. I'm sure it's structurally sound. Fazbear spares no expenses, especially not in the area of safety. Everybody knows that. That's like basically their mantra, right? Spared no expense. That always ends well every time someone says that. Right, guys? Oh, I'm starting to wind down. Yeah, I bet the game is louder than me now. I'm sorry. You know, if I'm quiet, I'm starting to get pretty tired. This is pretty chill. I love it. No music. Just me talking to myself. No friends. No girlfriend. Anyways, okay, well, that got a little bit too real. That was a joke, by the way. Don't worry about me. I'm doing pretty great. Oh, I got a little, what's it called? A kalimba. Y'all want to hear this? Hold on. Where's it at? Where did I put that thing? It's right here. I taught myself... Ow. I don't know why I said ow. That didn't hit me. I taught myself some songs from Minecraft. Listen. I know, that's so amazing to hear. Look, and then there's this too. And then this one, which is really hard for me to do. You get the idea. Pretty happy with it. It's a very cool little instrument. Phooey. 7 minutes left. 7 minutes left, guys. Someone please, don't try to talk me out of this. Don't try to talk me out of stopping the stream, because I won't do it. Don't you dare. I'm already an hour over the time. Don't you do it. Don't you try to talk me out of it. This is the part where you... so lame. One day, y'all, I'm telling you, right now, I can't promise nothing. I'm not supposed to promise anything, but right now, y'all, you know, we got 0 viewers, but I want y'all to come back to this in a year. In 1 year. And I pray that I'll have, what? 0, I'll have, I don't know, 1 million viewers or something. That's probably extremely absurd for a stream, but we'll see. God works. I'm telling y'all, come back here a year from now, and God willing, I'll have 1 million concurrent viewers. I'm excited to see what the next year looks like. Ooh, you know what? No, you're gonna get you need an overhang. And I think too, well no, because that wouldn't work very well. I was gonna say you could, since this is right here and it's open right here, the arcade, you could just buy a pass that's just the arcade, and not even go into the main room. But number one, you can see it from right here. And it just wouldn't make much sense logistically, and you could run into there, you could sneak back in there from just not the. This is a nice little arcade. This is what I'm talking about. And you know what, backstage, honestly, thinking the FNAF 2 stuff. Maybe. Actually, what is this? The deluxe wall? The deluxe wall works for me. And I think back here is going to be really tall too. Oh, I didn't think through that. How did I not think through that? Oh no, that's bad. Very bad. I didn't think about that there needs to be a wall right here. You know what? This is fine like this. This can just be like this. You know what? No. No, this is not fine. The whole curtain needs to be shortened by one. I mean, the whole stage, sorry. The whole stage needs to be shortened by one, actually. Worth it. Dang, 11:57. Do that. Alright, crisis averted. This was fine. Probably ought to get off at 12. If I get off at 12, I'll still be doing good. I mean, at this point right now, I'm probably just using this as an excuse to play Minecraft. Really don't need to be on here much longer. I've been on here since like 10. I was originally going to start streaming at 9, but I ended up, you know, getting a shower like just the amazing human being I am. No, I'm sorry. I'm getting tired of doing jokes like that. They're not even funny anymore. This needs, we probably need to have that over there. You know, we could always have this generator room back here now, since we've got that space. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I suppose too, we have at least, you know, what, all week to continue streaming and building up this restaurant. So I actually think I am. Ooh, it's already 12. All right, I'm gonna finish up this wall right here, and then I'm gonna get off because, you know, we actually probably should spend the week actually building this whole pizzeria. I don't want to start a whole new pizzeria next week or this week. So we've made actually a good chunk of progress today. Very happy, very proud of ourselves, guys, because y'all did so much work sitting here watching the stream after it happened. I'm pretty happy with this. And I do believe I have a 2-hour-long video that just saved my computer now, so I'm gonna need to go through and delete that. And there'll just be the curtain that goes through here. Also, I guess right here, because it doesn't technically attach. Problem is that you can clearly see that from back there, so that's really, you don't want that. No, yeah, no stage would have that. In fact, what it would have is the curtains just go up to the sky. These are big old curtains. But I believe what I would do, or at least in the lore of mine, and it's probably because my theater kid background. Yes, I am a theater kid, by the way. Probably somewhat obvious, I guess. I don't know. Is that maybe Fazbear's would rent out, would let local stage performances and stuff rent out, like this theater, this stage for shows. Maybe, you know, it's a fundraising thing for the school, or they would, you know, something like that, just PR basically. They would let schools. Oh, that's scary. You just do like that, and all of a sudden there's the back room right there. And then I just want to, I know I said I get off, but I just real quickly want to see what that curtain would look like. That's bad. That's pretty bad. But easily fixable. Oh, that's good. That's good like that. That's exactly how I want it. So right here, all we have to do is a simple fix. Just don't have that. I know. So challenging. And of course this curtain would go back through here. Oh, one time, chat, I was, actually, I'll tell this story later, I think, when there are more people. Not today. We'll save this. Actually, you know what, now. Like, one time, you know, chat, I was, bored and I was... No, that's a longer story. That's going to take longer to explain. I don't have time for that. Just about to get off. This is good. And you can just walk all the way through here. There's no... And then right here... I guess we might as well just have the curtain just... Yeah, I did the thing. So much smaller. Why did I not think of that? Oh my goodness. Sat here just slowly trying to reach up the thing. Can I? Oh, I can. You know, maybe too, a cool series to do later is go into Management Wanted survival mode whenever they fully kind of... I believe they're working on a major update for that, if I'm correct. And go into Management Wanted... What? Management Wanted survival mode, and then try to build this pizzeria in Management Wanted survival. I'm so sorry about the clacky keyboard. Yeah, I'm just about to get off. I've stayed on here much too late. Oh, this is gonna be a pain. Excellent. Maybe this will be in the office. I don't know. Could do something like that. Window. Ooh, you know what? Since these connect, you know, interview room, but you know, the lost and found room could be like right here, and then maybe there's a window or something right here. This could be the lost and found area right there in the security office, something to that effect. I hope that doesn't make it laggy. So there you go. That's what the stage would basically sort of somewhat kind of not really look like. And you boom. So even if this rolls back, you've still got that extra curtain back there. This is nice. And of course, really, what? Yeah, of course you can walk through all of it. It's all like completely... See, all the curtains are pulled back, and now it, no, yeah. What do I want from this? Do I want this like that? I really like this effect right here. That effect right there. That's a pretty nice effect. We can deal with that later. So of course, backstage basically looks like that. So I think for the gang, he goes wherever he feels like. You know, boom, boom. He could sneak backstage, kind of maybe then come out here. There's a lot of different ways. Of course, I don't know what to do about this. Maybe make stairs out of this. Wait, what? No. I need to get off. I'm procrastinating getting off now. Oh, I'm just so excited. This is so fun. I feel like we've made so much progress. Very cool little entrance. Yeah, well. There you go. There's this. I guess that's about time to get off now. Just like this. It's a pretty cool little location. Alright, y'all. Well, I love you guys very much. Even though I don't know you, I still love you. And I would love you if I did know you. And you know, guys, just y'all are all awesome, and I want y'all to know that Jesus loves you too, more than I do, actually. Funnily enough, I just love you guys because He does. But you know, that feels cringe to say. There may be I wonder if there's a less cringe way to say that. And y'all guys are all awesome. Keep being awesome, and I pray that y'all have an amazing week. Goodbye.